Hey there, kiddos, and welcome back to the channel. I'm Uncle Frank, hoping that you are having a great day. And in today's video, I'd like to sit back in my very comfortable chair, relax, and have a little conversation with all of you guys about Star Wars Unlimited, Disney's Lorcana, Magic the Gathering, and collector booster boxes. Because, yeah, got some news today that may or may not be true, may or may not be verified, Sarah be confirmed, after all, that I want to talk about, and it just so happens to have come at a very funny time. You see, earlier today, I was brainstorming video ideas. That's right, I do that from time to time. I turn my brain on to think a tiny bit about what kind of content I should give you guys. And I had got to thinking, well, it has been a while since I have done anything that really focuses on Unlimited or Lorcana at any length, and these are both card games that do deserve a bit of focus from time to time. Lorcana has really broken the mold in the last 8 months. It's really taken off on a victory lap as it's turned its entire life around, gotten a whole slew of new fans, really gained a lot of value on the secondary market. Look at those Reign of Jafar boxes. And has really just kind of turned from a card game that people were really antsy about even a year ago into something that people are really bullish on, like hardcore bullish. And that's great. Meanwhile, Star Wars Unlimited continues to exist. And so I got to thinking, what's a good way to cover both these? Well, I could make a video talking about all the cool stuff that Lorcana has been doing right over the last year and all the missed opportunities Star Wars Unlimited has had to kind of follow the leader. And so, as I was thinking, what are some good things Lorcana's done? What are some bad things SWU has done? And of course, my thought process kept going back to one thing, one item that Star Wars Unlimited has done that, in my opinion, has kind of cemented the game's status, and that is the existence of collector booster boxes, which only Star Wars Unlimited has, and Magic the Gathering, and that one Dragon Ball game, but Lorcana does not have, and the proof is in the pudding, in my opinion. I mean, Star Wars Unlimited, after the arrival of collector boxes, has basically lost so much. The value of those sealed products has degraded on the secondary market, whereas Lorcana has continued to appreciate very well. It's starting to gain its foothold, starting to really have a solid foundation bedrock base. Its revolving door of players is really stabilizing, and it looks like the game is here for the long haul now. So I was going to have a whole video, basically. My entire video was going to be about, Star Wars Unlimited has collector boxes. Lorcana doesn't have collector boxes. One of these games looks really healthy. The other one doesn't. That was going to be today's video. Okay? And if you already know, you know where this you know why this is funny. By sheer coincidence, like an hour ago, images have started to circulate around online. Or at least it was brought to my attention like an hour ago. Of Lorcana collector booster boxes. Yeah! Now, first things first, all things being equal, I want to make it very clear, I have absolutely no idea whether or not these, the Into the Ink Dark collector box, I have no idea if that's a real thing or not, okay? According to the claims, it was briefly up on the Lorcana website before being taken down, and people are just sharing it around social media and such and talking about it, obviously. And there's strong opinions about it, whether it is real or fake, okay? Just so we're clear. I'm leaning more towards the fake just because I don't believe it would be wise for a company to shoot themselves in the foot like this. But I hold all judgments until a confirmation one way or the other, right? But there are some strong opinions about the existence of airplane. Yeah, I guess so. There are some strong opinions about the existence of collector booster boxes in Lorcana, positive and negative, and for good reason. Collector booster boxes have been exceptionally contentious within the world of TCGs since their inception 7 years ago with Magic the Gathering. Throne of Eldraine, I think, was the first set to have them. I'm fairly confident because that was the first one after War of the Spark, right? The first core set, first real set after War of the Spark was Throne of Eldraine. Had Garrick on the cover for the collector boxes. Anyway, I digress. They've been very contentious. At first, we actually saw the devastating effects of collector boxes firsthand. A lot of people predicting that they would bring devastation to the secondary market, and they did. For quite a while, it took a long time for collector boxes to really gain value. I know that the big popular thing right now in the world of Magic the Gathering is to buy up every collector box you see because it's super money, right? But at first, Throne of Eldraine did not do all that great for its collector boxes, and neither did a lot of the follow-up sets. Very loud cars didn't buy it. A lot of the follow-up sets did not do good. Theros Beyond Death did not do good. Oh, Streets of New Capenna. Oh, that one did awful. Actually lost quite a lot of money thanks to Streets of New Capenna collector boxes. Poor timing there. Poor judgment on my part. I think I've told the story before, but basically I got the entire floor ripped out from under me on that one. Several cards. It's a loud day outside. Jeez. Lots of, like every machine under the sun is out here to interrupt this video, I swear. So yeah, it took a long time for collector booster boxes for Magic to become valuable. And we also saw in Star Wars Unlimited that the introduction of collector booster boxes was like a shotgun to like a lame dog. You know, Star Wars Unlimited's limping along, doing its best to retain its player base and its collectors and all that jazz. And out comes Fantasy Flight with the old Plinker 9000. All right, boy, we're putting you down with the collector boxes. Bam! And yeah, the collector boxes there were devastating, especially to stores. Stores got absolutely hosed on those. Because collector boxes, of course, are the big thing. You want to get those so you can appeal to the collectors, investors, speculators, and scalpers and all that jazz who want to get into your game just to extract the coolest cards ever because they're the bros and they need the money, right? And they want to buy the things that are definitely going to go up. And collector boxes are definitely going to go up, right? Well, so stores want to buy them, but as a result of buying them, a lot of distributors only let them get collector boxes if they buy so many regular booster boxes, which saddles the store with that product. And to make matters even worse, turns out after a bit, no one even wants the collector boxes. And a lot of them are sitting unsold on a lot of store shelves. And even now on like places like TCG Player and eBay, you can find them well under MSRP. Sometimes even well under distribution prices, which is a tragedy. And I've said this before, and I'll say it again. If you are someone who truly believes in Star Wars Unlimited as a game, as a brand, and you think that it's going to turn itself around in the near future or at any point before it dies, all I'm going to say is collector boxes are very cheap for what they are for that game. Very cheap. Just putting that out there. If you are a Star Wars Unlimited fan, putting your money where your mouth is cheap. So yeah, all that aside, you know, collector boxes, in my opinion, and I don't think I've been shy about this, I have believed very strongly for basically since their inception that collector boxes are a detriment to any TCG they're introduced to. So that Lorcana, which is only just now catching its stride, gaining a really solid player base, really building a foundational identity for itself with its high-end collectibles and its really cool playable cards, and really establishing itself as like the Disney brand collectible on the market right now. Yes, I know that there's pins and shirts and all that jazz, but a lot of people are into card games right now, and Lorcana being this kind of centralized Disney place for all things Disney. You know, you don't just have the classic movies, you have all the weird TV shows getting representation and such. That's really cool. So for Lorcana, which is only just now getting its bearings and really stabilizing itself, because they are stabilizing, to introduce collector booster boxes now is, in my opinion, a terrible choice, especially looking back at the effects that they have had on other card games. For Magic, it brought down prices across the board. I know, correlation, causation, not the same thing. But it's undeniable that when collector booster boxes hit, they hit like a freight truck. for Magic. And the same thing was true for Star Wars Unlimited with regard to secondary market prices for sealed and singles for basically everything that wasn't the top 1% card of the set. I do vaguely recall when Oko and Uro were like there was a time when Uro for Magic the Gathering Theros Beyond Death was like the only thing you could pull out of a box to make that box worth it. And even then, it didn't have a chance of making the box itself worth it. It was like you needed the foil version, right? And Oko, you needed like a foil alt-art Oko. Rough times. Now you can just pull a gold chocobo or a serialized card and you're home free, right? Crazy stuff. The dark ages of Magic. But yeah, you know, I'm tentatively worried, and I know there are people out there who are very excited, very bullish, and you know, not without good reason. Right now, Lorcana's looking in a solid spot. Perhaps it'll be the one that breaks the mold, and collector boxes will just take it to the next level. Awesome, right? In theory. But also there's the chance that it old yellers it. And I'm just worried that that is the case. But again, I'm a super pessimist when it comes to things like this, and I'm always worried that the worst case scenario is just around the corner. All I want to say is if these images are genuine, legit, not fake, deep fakes or whatever, if things are all on the up and up, then if collector boosters come to Lorcana, then they will be the de facto best thing to purchase. That is my opinion. As a store, as a flipper of cardboard. If collector boosters come to Lorcana, then there would be no reason whatsoever for a investor, a flipper, a store who just wants to make a shitload of money to buy the regular booster boxes, because those would quickly be devalued. Because their contents would quickly be devalued. Because the collector booster boxes exist. I want to make this very clear. I'm not saying that there's no reason to buy regular booster boxes. There is. Players, draft, prize packing, collecting the set. It's going to be easier to collect with more cards per packs for the regular boosters than the smaller amount of cards versus the higher rate of hits in collector boosters. We've had that conversation before. Okay. But what I am saying is, if you're someone who's purely in it for the money, why would you ever buy this over here when this over here has a much higher chance at making you money? That's all I want to say. But if things go right, Lorcana could hit the perfect balance of players have this perfect product for them over here, and the Evo collectors, flippers, and investors have a perfect product for them over here. But in my opinion, and in my experience, this product over here has a negative impact on product over here, and then itself. That's just what I think. But what do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section below. This has definitely dragged on for longer than it had to, especially because there's some really loud cards out today. Wild stuff. Like, share, subscribe, all that jazz. TCG Player, Discord. There's another one whose name I'm forgetting. Patreon. Boom. That's all in the description below. Thanks again for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Ciao.